No, magic doesn't necessarily mean working with the devil or demons or anything negative for that matter. Let's ramble. Tell from my intro, this video is probably going to be a little bit of a rant with a lot of sighing. Why do I feel like I need to talk about this? Most of you will probably say I don't need to talk about it, but for those of you that happen to find my channel and have given me cruddy comments on it, this is for you. So, yeah, let's do it. Anyway, so I get so many things, and maybe I don't get that many, but I've seen tons of things and even heard plenty of people yapping about how magic itself is bad, and there's like fundamentalists that are all like, this magic stuff and astrology and all these other things are evil, and the devil's teaching you stuff, like it's the whole whatchamacallit, the idea of there's that Adam Sandler movie with Waterboy, right? Football is the devil, that girl is the devil, all that stuff, or anything that makes anybody nervous, that they don't know anything about it, they don't understand it, and that's the key point, is evil. So here's the thing. Just because people work with something that is different than your system, it doesn't necessarily put them in danger, and it is not inherently or necessarily or at all evil in nature. Just because somebody does something different than you doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to be damned to hell. I could probably rant for an hour on this stuff, but for those of you that believe in Christianity and things like that, let's wrap our heads around this. So, if you don't do what God says, then He won't save you from His own wrath, which means ultimately it is His choice whether or not you are good or bad. Yet God says, "Thou shalt not kill." There is literally the only idea behind Satan in the Bible itself is when he tested Jesus in the desert and stuff, and even the concept of hell was more expanded outside of the devil and by people than in the book, more or less. Not to mention that the book has been changed multiple times by multiple people. Look at the old version versus the King James version versus all of the different translations with biblical hermeneutics. I told you this would be a rant deal. So here's the thing, okay? Magic, there's a difference between magic and religion. I have 2 other videos on that. Where religion or praying is, can you please get me a cookie? It's up on a high shelf and I can't reach it. Please get me a cookie. Magic is like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take my own responsibility. I'm going to pull that chair over to this cabinet. I'm going to stand on it, and I'm going to get my own cookie. Okay? The idea is whether or not you are going to give up your own power for whatever you want, within reason and stuff, because let's be real here. There are people that will use magic to bad means, and there are people that will only use it for good. Magic itself is not inherently good or bad. It's what you do with it. The same thing as a gun. And I don't even want to get into this, but guns can be used to defend oneself from bad people, or they can be used to cause harm. I would much rather have my firearm and never have to use it than not have one and wish I had it, So anyway, I'm getting a little bit off track, but that's par for the course with a video like this. Magic itself is the ability to change reality in accordance with will. It's being able to get what you want out of your life. There's this phrase where God helps those who help themselves. No, God gets the credit for people who help themselves. These energies that we access in magic are nothing more than our own thoughts, the energies around us, the energies we are able to cook up within us to take action to get the things that we want and call those other things to us. The entities that we interact with are extensions of our conscious and subconscious and the energetics around us, and beings from other planes that we choose to interact with in a reciprocal and healthy manner where I scratch my back, you scratch yours. I feed you a little bit of energy, and, I tell you how great you are, and you help me get whatever this is. It's the same thing as praying. Oh, Jesus, you're such a wonderful person for, saving us all from original sin. I'm really hoping that you will be able to help me out with blah. It's literally the same thing. Prayer is magic. Magic just happens to have more bells, whistles, and honestly is more fun. I mean, it's just frustrating how people that just want to make changes in their lives and take their spirituality as a responsibility rather than just asking for something and actually doing something about it get labeled as terrible or get the whole you're gonna get hurt thing. I have not experienced a single negative, honestly negative thing with working with the Simon Necronomicon. I have not. I've had bumps in the night. Ooh, so scare me. I live in a condo complex. I get bumps in the night all the time. Those other ones happen to just be a little bit uncharacteristic. A little bit weird when you hear a massive bang in your hallway and there's no explanation for it. Did I get scared? No. A little. But what did I do? Protection stuff. I didn't get scared. I didn't run out of my house screaming. I didn't do any of those dumb things in horror movies that people do. So, when you are taking responsibility for your life to do things that you want, there's nothing wrong with that. If you are going to use magic and stuff to harm other people, that's when you're going to get hurt. Because there's, it's like a rubber band. Stretch it, bam, it bounces back at you. The whole law of karma, although technically karma is misunderstood. Karma isn't putting things in a piggy bank to say how good you did. It's not the whole, like, karma's gonna bite you back, which is why I kind of really don't like the threefold law, but the same kind of concept applies. If you are pushing out negative energy, that's what you're gonna get back. That's essentially a better way of saying, what you do returns to you threefold. Where if you treat everybody like junk and you hurt other people, that's what's going to come back to you. If you treat everybody good, then of course they're going to treat you good. The whole treat others as you want to be treated. Which, hey, the golden rule. Yeah, I'll give the majority spirituality whatever credit for that, unless somebody wants to tell me that came from somewhere else. In which case, please do. So, magic does not necessarily mean you are communicating with the devil. Let us remember that Satan and the devil are Christian concepts. People that do not work with demonology. Wow, I'm surprised my cat got on top of that bookshelf. ADD. Ha. So people that work demonology are demonolators, or particularly work with I'm allergic to this topic. Negative spirits, if they choose to, negative spirits, which means negative input, which means negative output. But if you're working, from a demonology perspective with like the 72 of the Goetia or others that could be considered demons, let's remember, demon comes from daemon, which really just means spirit. It doesn't necessarily mean anything negative until they put a bad context on it, with, the witch trials, the Malleus Maleficarum, witch's hammer, and stuff like that. Don't try to school me on this. I wrote a paper on it in college when it comes to the Manufacture of Madness, which is a fantastic book if you guys want to look that one up. Manufacture of Madness is a fantastic book because it talks about the way that witches were portrayed as being negative, so the majority culture had something to point their fingers at when problems went wrong, and that's where this entire idea behind magic and witchcraft and stuff is evil. And one of the other reasons why the majority of religions don't want you to work with magic and witchcraft and stuff is because it's taking responsibility for your own life and being able to change things rather than having to go to a building and put donations in a bucket and, give up your own personal power to supposedly something else that is just giving handouts. I don't do handouts. I do my own reality. And I hope you do too. So I think I ranted for quite a bit on this, and I kind of like doing this stuff, but let me know what you guys think about this, because it just makes me frustrated that people that practice magic have fingers pointed at them that they're evil, or you get the whole, you're going to hurt yourself kind of thing, because I haven't, I won't, and chances are you won't either unless you're manifesting that in your own reality. So, yeah, Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop anything that you guys think in the comments. You can always email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com. Check out any of my other videos along with my playlist for how to work with the Necronomicon, how magic works, and how you are able to learn different skills if you are growing in your magical skill set. You can check out my Theories of Magic playlist, which is continuing to be released on Fridays, that talks about the different things that actually make magic work, different mechanics and principles in that. If you are interested in how magic works on a psychological and energetic level, you can check out my book Magical Theater, which is on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. And if you are interested in the gatewalking process of the Necronomicon, not only get started with the Simon Necronomicon itself with some watching my videos and gaining some prerequisite skills with magic, the occult, and circle casting, and evocation, and ritual setup, and things like that. But you can also check out my Guide to the Seven Spheres and Beyond, which is a gatewalking workbook that will actually help you to plan and execute your gatewalking, which is also on BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.com. So that's my spiel, that's my rant, and good hunting.